overturned vessel identified. Chief Secretary says there's more work to be done. Michael Tasia wins Road March and Arcadia Mass Band wins Band of the Year in Tobago. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Wednesday, 14 February 2024. To a top story this evening, the Ministry of National Security this afternoon identified the mysterious shipwrecked vessel that has been leaking oil over the past 8 days in the waters between Scarborough and Cove. It was being towed by a tug called Solo Creed, and it was transporting fuel from Panama on its way to Guyana. Reporter Candice Jackson has been following the story and she has the details.
The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard confirmed involvement of a tugboat and a barge bound for Guyana, but unaccounted for. Investigations in collaboration with local and regional agencies focus on identifying the vessels and their owners. Distinctive markings and satellite imagery track the barge towed by a tugboat called Solo Creed from Panama. Both vessels lost radar contact and never entered Guyana's waters. Casualties remain unconfirmed amidst efforts to determine the vessels' identities. This information, although bringing clarity, raises several more concerns. First of all, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine was not officially notified of the find.
I found out, like everyone else, from a press release that I saw circling WhatsApp. And then I saw it was online. That's how I knew the name of the vessel. Nobody called, nobody WhatsApped me, nobody said anything officially.
Coincidentally, the Chief Secretary stated he received similar information the night before and raised several questions.
You really took that long to come forward and to take ownership of this? This is your vessel and you have not arrived to Tobago as yet?
The island has been treated with a Tier 2 disaster as a result of the continuous oil spill.
You know what you were carrying, and the press release does not even indicate clearly what they were carrying and the quantity of what they were carrying. The WhatsApp message I got last night says that they were carrying 5,000 metric tons of fuel. Is that true?
Then there is a matter of the actual name of the barge stuck on the reef outside of Cove.
And is it true that what we see as Gulfstream is essentially perhaps an older name, the original name, and that this new name was perhaps something called Zoom Zoom of that sort?
Also, Augustine pointed to some concerns about the vessel's owner might involve a major energy company trying to do business in Trinidad.
The WhatsApp I got last night also said that the owner of this vessel actually is one of those trying to purchase the refinery down in Point 14. Is that true?
Augustine called for these questions to be answered urgently. And while Tobago continues to prioritize its cleanup efforts,
I want to know how much they will pay for this.
Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates Television News.
Well, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine shared information about work that will be done in the coming days due to the oil spill. During the media briefing this afternoon, Augustine advised persons to stay clear of cordoned off areas, noting that persons have been trying to make their way through. He also highlighted the work that will be done tonight.
The areas that are calling off really and truly does not affect your travel in any significant way. For starters, we have calling off the area going down to Cano Bay, because later tonight we should be installing frac tanks in that area. And
the Chief Secretary explained that these tanks are storage tanks and the hydrocarbon from the ocean will be deposited into them to be securely stored, while also advising persons to stay away from that area. Well, the extent of the damage done to the mangroves of Petit Trou Lagoon from the oil spill remains unknown. While scientists continue assessing the situation, cleanup efforts have begun. This is all being monitored by the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program to determine the next steps. Here's more.
The upturned bow of the Gulfstream wreck points towards Petit Trou Lagoon, almost as if signaling where some of the leaking toxic oil-like substance is ending up. Sean McCoon, Public Relations Officer of the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program, said significant damage is observed.
We have seen the effects of it from the boardwalk side, and we also from the lagoon side, we have seen that the influx has happened.
The extent of the impact is yet to be fully ascertained, but it is affecting an already compromised area.
What we know right now is that the area that was significantly affected by dieback is the area that has been absorbing the majority of the oil-like substance.
McCoon explained that over the past 5 years, the mangroves have been experiencing dieback, which occurs when a significant portion of the mangroves starts drying up.
We have had sargassum influxes, we've had reports of dumping, we've had all the debris coming from boats and so on, and other marine activities making its way into the mangrove ecosystem.
This, compounded by the oil, threatens the resilience of the Petitrew Lagoon. Its loss means the destruction of a nursery for marine creatures, a vulnerable coastal area, and the destruction of a tourism site. Both the Institute of Marine Affairs and the Environmental Management Authority are conducting assessments on the mangroves to determine the impact and what portion might be completely lost. In the meantime, Kaizen Environmental Services Trinidad Limited, Heritage Petroleum Company Limited, and volunteers are working on cleaning up the oil.
And they would have been sucking, or there would have been trucks on hand between Lambo Beach and a few other areas affected, sucking out all of the oil-like substance to extract, with a view of extracting the substance.
Based on scientific data gathered, the Tobago Reforestation and Rehabilitation Program will formulate a plan to begin restoring the mangroves in the Petitrew Lagoon. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
We'll take a short break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, yeah. Give it to me, honey.
Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal. Girl, you look normal.
Oh, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Girl, you know what you're doing. Big waist with the eye contact. Girl, look up. Look up. Look up. Look up. Look up. Look up, look up, look up. Look at how we part, look up at the speed, look up to the stars, look up, girl, look up. Do more, live more. Do more, live more. Oh. Do more, live more.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Do more, live more.
Welcome back. It has been nothing short of a logistical nightmare to get the oil spill under control. Still, the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, TEMA, believes they are at a point where it is under control. Director of TEMA, Alan Stewart, provided an update on the logistics behind this massive disaster response.
Coordinating the response efforts to an oil spill disaster of the magnitude currently being experienced in Tobago has been challenging for authorities. According to Director Alan Stewart, the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, TEMA, was only prepared to deal with smaller oil-related incidents.
The Tobago House of Assembly contingency plan as it relates to oil spills speaks to a level 1 tier, meaning therefore there are certain assets that we are expected to have.
It was eventually elevated to a Tier 2 disaster. Only 1,600 feet of oil booms were soaked on the island. They were deployed around Scarborough Port on Thursday night, but more needed to be sourced from Trinidad.
But the confession should be that, logistical nightmare in moving Trinidad to Tobago.
The majority of the requested equipment did eventually make it to Tobago, and it is one of the gaps that Stewart expects will be highlighted during an assessment of the response efforts. Additionally, more oil booms were deployed around Petitrew Mangrove and the Gulf Stream wreck, but some of the booms broke due to the rough seas and strong currents. The anchors designed for the booms were intended to rest on sandy sea floors, not coral beds. Stewart explained that the experts had to change their strategy accordingly.
We had a rough seas where the energy of those of the current was really acting against it, and we were able to. We had MP. We also had a number. We got assets from the Division of Marine Affairs.
Anchors originally intended for set nets, which were stored on Tadco's compound, were commandeered and are now being used to anchor the oil booms. Meanwhile, the public is already witnessing the clearing of the oil-like substance from the beaches, particularly at Rockley Bay in Scarborough. This exercise involved a combination of experts and volunteers, and it is also a challenging process.
How much sand do you remove from the beach? Yes. Or when do you stop things like that? If you're to remove it, if you're to scoop off in the first instance, removing the tar-like matter of hydrocarbons, how do you transport it to a safe burial place?
In the meantime, Stewart warned that the sustained response efforts will continue for at least another 3 weeks.
It's going to be very costly, and it's going to demand the type of gear and equipment that we don't necessarily have here on the island. And therefore, there are logistics concerns, and you have to think about where people will sleep, how they will eat, things like that.
All the while, work is ongoing to identify the origins and ownership of the vessel. Stewart is confident that the information will soon come to light. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Michael Williams, better known as Michael Tasia, is the 2024 Road March champion. His popular tune DNA, which debuted last October, played 341 times. Bungie Garland's Carnival Contract, another favorite for the season, crept up but failed to take the top spot. This song was played 225 times, earning him second place, and Anxiety by Patrice Roberts placed third after being played 48 times. Tasia has also won the 2024 Young Kings Calypso Monarch but settled for fourth place in the National Calypso competition. During the official announcement of the results today, the president of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization, TUCO, Ainsley King, spoke about the importance of soca and calypso music and improving the products.
When national unity is concerned, it's the only way that we see that we could bring some strength and contribute to changing the landscape of Calypso where attendance to our tents and to our events are concerned. So we are working towards uniting Trinidad and Tobago in the best way possible.
Say no to crime was the message being spread by students of the Patience Hill Government Primary School as the school hosted a crime walkathon early this morning. The walk was held in light of the recent upsurge in crime in Tobago. Ariana Sipiu has the details.
PRO of the school's PTA, Rian George, said the walkathon was made possible through a collaborative effort with the PTA, business people in the area, and the area representative. It was all in an effort to encourage people to stay away from all forms of violence. George shared that some of the recent victims of crime on the island were relatives of the students at the school.
The two recent murders, the one in Signal Hill, the first murder for the year, those were relatives of children here at Patience Hill.
He said that other forms of crimes, such as burglaries and theft, have also been happening in the area. He hoped that the message would spread to other communities in Tobago and thanked all persons involved in making the crime walk possible. Assemblyman Nigel Tate, area representative for the electoral district of Signal Hill Patience Hill, was also present to support the cause.
To those who are involved in crime, to put a stop into it, right? The violence is getting overbearing now within this district in terms of housebreaking and petty violence.
Tate called on gun carriers in his district, Tobago, and the country by extension to put down the guns.
Some of these children, they could be our next lawyer, could be our next teacher, could be the next chief secretary or a representative, who knows?
Tate said that the children need an opportunity to work and grow in peace. Ariana Scipio, Tobago Updates Television News.
Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Councillor Tasha Boris, is pleased about the vibrant participation of Tobago's youth in the 2024 Carnival Tuesday celebrations in Tobago. She shared these sentiments in a recent interview with Tobago Updates. Here's more.
Secretary Boris underscored the importance of encouraging young people to actively engage in carnival traditions, particularly masks, to preserve and pass on the island's rich cultural heritage.
I was very pleased to see the amount of young, very, very young masqueraders. I'm talking about toddlers and tykes in their full costumes, and there was even a devil dog as part of one of the presentations. So I think that the creativity is certainly alive and well.
She noted the significance of the National Carnival in February as an opportune time to promote youth involvement in Carnival.
We feel as if February is the time to really promote the inclusion of young people in this space, especially given the setup of October Carnival. And I just hope that people see the opportunities that are available. And I think that the young people were extremely happy to get their chance to jump in the sun.
Reflecting on the recent festivities, Boris was thankful for the beautiful weather and the enjoyment experienced by the few spectators present. Looking ahead, she said there will be post-carnival deliberations to shape the direction of future celebrations.
After the dust has settled this week, next week, the plan is to call in all the relevant stakeholders and to have some serious conversations regarding the way forward for national celebrations. I think it's very important for us to start this process early so that people can be part of the conversation, people can give their recommendations, they can make their suggestions, and we can be very clear about the products that we have on offer.
Boris said early discussions with stakeholders would provide clarity regarding the offerings for future carnivals, whether they are tailored for October or February. She said that planning for both carnivals would commence promptly after the conclusion of the current season. Trevisa Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
We'll go to a quick break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Strawberry Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Carnival is here, but before you hit the streets, make your home the ultimate party zone. Standard says, make it stage ready, now for now. Get dazzling deals on TVs, furniture, appliances, everything to impress your guest. 10% cash back, easy financing, plus no down payment. Now's the time to shine. Visit Standards today. Let them make your home the star of Carnival.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62-TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Trinidad and Tobago is officially over. However, on Carnival Monday, Assistant Commissioner of Police Collis Hazel shared insights into Carnival celebrations in Tobago and the TTPS's approach to ensuring a safe season. Here's what he had to say in this report.
ACP Collis Hazel reported a reassuring update on this year's National Carnival celebrations, where he emphasized a focus on safety and security measures during the festivities.
We have promised in our planning before, we continue to experience a safe carnival, and this is all attributed to our intense planning strategies and of course the execution of the duty, and of course more so the behavioral pattern that we have experienced from our revelers, both in carnival and non-carnival activities.
As of Tuesday morning, ACP Hazel happily reported that in the 72 hours prior, Tobago experienced no reports of serious crimes.
The trajectory has shown that we are working with what we worked with in last October, and that is ensuring that we maintain this carnival as the safest carnival. From all assurances, I can give you that the Juve celebration last went very successful. We have had no reason to see that any untoward incident in which we weren't able to deal with.
He mentioned the successful Juve celebrations in Calder Hall, highlighting the absence of incidents that pose challenges beyond law enforcement's management capacity.
Just to say that, of course, with our detection, we were able to arrest two persons for narcotic substances, and basically someone driving without a driver's permit and having been issued an insurance for such. Outside of that, we saw a smooth celebration from Juve into the traditional mass and certainly into what was a bumper parade of night mass in the village of Roxborough last night.
ACP Hazel noted the collaborative efforts as the TTPS was joined by members of the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force, Special Reserve Officers, Fire Officers and Licensing Officers, reflecting a unified approach to safety and security in Tobago. Trevicia Phillips, Tobago Updates Television News.
Well, the results for the Tobago Junior Parade of the Bands were unveiled today, revealing Arcadia Mass Band as the winner. Their vibrant portrayal of Sailor in its splendor captivated judges, earning an impressive 617 points and securing the top position. Following closely behind, Lisa Melville's band depicting Kids Jamboree clinched the first runner-up spot with a commendable 603 points. A tie for third place emerged between Tamika Joseph's Explosion of Colors and Darcel Kirk's Mokorine Masquerade, both amassing 586 points, showcasing the remarkable talent and competitive spirit within Tobago's junior masquerade community. We go to a short break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
As you come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Stephen to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla? I thought it's your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Police responded to a bomb threat at the Port Mall in Scarborough this morning. Around 10 a.m., customers and business owners were told to evacuate the building due to a bomb threat. The security personnel at the mall urged the persons to find safety on the opposite side of the road and at the back of the building. Police officers searched the building, covering all bases before deeming it safe for people to return. The process took approximately 45 minutes. We called the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service for an update on the incident. However, they told us they were not aware of the incident. Furthermore, up to news time, the TTPS could not provide any information about the threat. Well, the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation reported a 27.9% increase in visitors to the island in January compared to the same period last year. The release noted that approximately 27,899 people visited the island. Secretary for the division, Tasha Boris, told Tobago Updates that visitor arrivals have pleasantly recovered since the pandemic. She said the island closed off the best January it has had in 8 years and is on its way to welcoming a record number of visitors in April. Boris underscored the positive effect of this increase on the island's foreign exchange and the sectors that work in the tourism industry, such as transport, specifically tours, that many visitors utilize. We did ask the secretary about data regarding the carnival season. She said there is no data yet for the carnival, but unofficial reports suggest many ferry sails were utilized. Well, checking in with the weather update from the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office tonight. Expect generally fair weather with the possibility of an occasional overnight shower. Temperatures are forecasted to drop to 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, anticipate mainly sunny skies with haziness and occasional breeziness. Though there's a low chance of a few passing showers, expect mild to moderate amounts of Saharan dust in the atmosphere. Temperatures will climb to 32 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 35 degrees. A yellow level hazardous seas warning remains in effect with waves reaching up to 2 meters in open waters and below 1.3 meters in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 6:32 and sunset at 6:10. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Let's recap the headlines before we go. Overturned vessel has been identified. Chief Secretary says there's more work to be done. Make Altasia wins Road March 2024 and Arcadia Mass wins Band of the Year in Tobago. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, thanking you so much for joining us and wishing you a good night.